Hello, meeting and event professionals. My name is Mariska Kesteloo, and I'm the founder of Word of M.I.C.E. Welcome on IBTM Virtual World. And I'm doing an interview with two lovely Italian ladies, and I will give the word to Giovanna to introduce yourself, and then we will go over to the question where we will talk about influencer marketing and the role of trust. Giovanna, welcome.
Thank you, Mariska. My name is Giovanna Lucherini. I'm working for the Convention Bureau in Naples. I have been managing the office since 2015. And in the past 5 years, we thought we have done a lot for being a private network of companies representing the destination. At the moment, we are still private, and we can decide the marketing strategies among our companies. And one of the actions we have decided to step into was, together with Mariska, as a pilot project for the influencing marketing of our destination. The reason why we decided to do something different by using an important new tool was due to the fact that Naples was not so clearly in Italy positioned in the map to our event profs. People knew Naples only because was the destination of landing to go somewhere else, like Amalfi Coast, Capri Island, or Pompeii, while the city is a nice destination itself, and we will see later why. So we wanted to have a different point of view thanks to Mariska's help at the beginning. On the second part of our project, we wanted to have an Italian point of view, and that's why we asked Alessia, who I'm introducing next, for her help on the territory. Alessia.
Thank you, Giovanna. Thank you, Mariska. Hello, everybody. I'm Alessia Di Raimondo, and I'm a M.I.C.E. and destination marketing freelance consultant with my own brand. I also team up with Mariska, Word of M.I.C.E. for B2B influencer marketing projects, and I also have an academy with a master program on tourism, hospitality, and event management, based in Italy, in Sicily, south of Italy. And yes, I am here because I work together with these great ladies for Naples on March 2019 for an incredible project, which was my first experience as a M.I.C.E. influencer. And so from that time, I studied a lot, and I learned also a lot in order to improve my skills to promote destination with the influencer marketing channel and tool.
Because we talk about this topic, influencer marketing. A lot of people who might listen still have the perception of B2B and B2C influencers, where we hear about fashion and beauty influencers. So I really hope that people see influencers now from a different perspective, and they see people passionate and experienced as meeting and event professionals. So because I know from there is normally a huge gap between, say, the clients and the influencers. Not always easy because they don't speak sometimes the same language. The influencer knows everything about social media and wants to go 10 steps ahead, while the client not always understand what the influencer wants, and vice versa. So I would like to ask you both, so how do you choose for the right influencer? Can you explain something about that, Giovanna?
Thank you, Mariska. I decided to work with you because we knew each other thanks to M.I.C.E., me from the Italia chapter and you from the Belgium chapter. And that was a very important moment for us to share new ideas. And the trust was, for me, one of the main issues of the relationship in business, because you really rely on the professional, and nothing is obvious, especially at the beginning, because there was a new project, as I said, and you were not in Naples. You have not been in the past in Naples. So the first step was come to visit our city and share at first your emotions and your ideas. Because on a map, we are similar to any other destination, while if you come, you can really see how it is made, this unique city. And you then can understand how you can promote it outside of Italy, because the help I asked you is to have an idea, or what do you think about Naples and how would you communicate this destination to the Europeans, especially to those who have never been to this city or to the south of Italy. So the first impression was that I wanted to feel comfortable in sharing my thoughts and emotions with you, because you had the tools to represent me abroad. So you had a big responsibility. And the first part of the project was also on somebody else's hand. I mean, you were selecting an influencer on my behalf, and we were working together with her. Can I say at the beginning with some problems? What kind of problems? Problems of understanding, maybe because of the language, because I wanted to promote my city with positive messages first, to create atmosphere and say, hey, do you know the Naples for this and this? While at the beginning, maybe the influencer was not catching the positive part of the city. And so we had to restart and to adapt the contents. Otherwise, the message were totally twisted and not coming back to us properly and in a positive way. So if I can say briefly, the second part of the project was going better because you were my influencer. So again, the trust was again on the top of the business relation. And with you, we were adjusting all the new things on the new channels, on the new contents, and sharing together positive and negative feedbacks in order to adapt our strategy and going fluently through your channels. Mm-hmm. From the European point of view. By involving Alessia, the idea was to have her point of view as an Italian event prof. So some words, some content, some pictures were different because they were for the Italian market. Mm-hmm. So these two moments were, at the end, were going together and ending up in having the two of you in Naples working on site, not only backstage. And that was the best moment ever, because we were exciting to work for our different channels, and but together at the same moment. Some of the contents are still unique for us, and that's why we still use them to re-promote or refocus our strategies for the future marketing actions.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thank you so much for your feedback. It would be nice to have also feedback of Alessia, because I suppose she also knows the say sometimes the gap between the client and the influencer. What advice can you give towards, say, potential clients? How do they choose the right person involved for the destination or campaign?
Yeah, thank you, Mariska. There are different things a client should consider. Now it's easier than before to find an influencer to work with, because there are many platforms web platforms or mobile platforms from startups which are going to market, where you can find a sort of directory of influencer, especially for the B2C mainly, not for the B2B, where you can find the profile of every influencer, the companies he or she worked with in the past, so a sort of track record, some KPIs, but of course these platforms focus only on numbers, and numbers are not enough. You have to consider, for example, of course, as Giovanna said, and as you said in advance, trust has to be at the basis of every influencer marketing project and every relationships, business relationships with as well, which is as well a personal relationship from the between the influencer and the client. You should start from people who already talk about you, knows you, and also already has prepared their audience to listen about your brand, your destination, in this case, your company in general. You should consider even the platform where you want to increase your exposure. And so choose the influencer which is strong on that platform. For example, if you want to increase on Instagram, of course, don't choose an influencer which works exclusively on LinkedIn, because of course it's not a good choice. You have also to check about the content that the influencer you are looking for create online. So for example, the aesthetics or the voice of the content the influencer posts on his social media, and the comments his or her followers put below their post, because maybe their followers don't comment in a meaningful way, not in a meaningful way for you. So you have to check all these aspects to understand if that influencer could be relevant for you. Doesn't matter the number of followers he or she has, because he or she can have a ton of followers and get bunch of likes, but maybe these are not useful for you and for your purpose, for your goal, for your campaign. It's not, you have to consider also the budget you have, of course, because maybe sometimes the budget is tight and it's useless to invest it on a top influencer which is not fitting to your goals and to your strategy. So maybe start considering also micro or nano influencer with a lower number of followers but higher engagement rate. So maybe consider also these numbers, so a percentage which should be between 1.5 and 4. I just checked my my engagement rate a few minutes ago, and it's 8%. So it's a little bit. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, thank you so much for your feedback. So you already said it's not just one push on the button on a platform where you can find the right influencer. I think that's also very important, and that's also a lot of work. If destinations want to reach out to people, that they need to see the total picture, like you write a CV. It's not just only look at your age or have you have the university diploma. It's checking your entire work, your entire profile. So I think it could be very useful if people want to work, don't focus on the, like you said, on the number of followers, but the quality of the people that they have in their network. You both mentioned already the aspect of trust. This is of course very relevant in the times that we're living in, because we're living in very uncertain and unprecedented times. So trust is a huge factor. Can you explain just, Alessia, why is trust such an important factor, and why is it, I'd say, during a campaign, and why do you think we need to perhaps even highlight this topic even more?
Trust is at the basis of a campaign and at the basis of the relationship, as I already said, between the influencer and the client. Objectivity, exhaustivity, these are all pillars of trust. And these have to be at the basis of the project, especially now, in general, ever, but especially now in these uncertain times, because, for example, as I said, the budget is tight. So you don't have so much money to invest on an influencer marketing campaign. You prefer to invest on something different. But if you trust the person you work with, it's easier to get a successful result, even with a budget business. It's close to zero, maybe. But if the relationship is based on trust, maybe is higher the chance to reach the goal you put at the beginning of your strategy and your decision, of course. So yeah, I don't know if Giovanna wants to add anything.
I think that it is important to keep on going the conversation, to have, as today, the conversation together, because in spite of the COVID, we all need to share new ideas and new contents to stay alive with our mind, with our ideas. You know how Italians are very creative, so we are like trapped. We feel like trapped. We need to plan. We need to plan. So for the next years, I easily see a conversation together with you, ladies, because your point of view is from a professional point of view, with an experience with different destinations. So the added value is that you can suggest, thanks to your experience, how to behave in this new world, because we have been taking our social channels alive, thanks also to the experience with you. And we didn't want to disappear, even if we were not working, but our channels through the social medias were working. And that was important for us. And that was a new way of working, thanks to this experience with you, because planning some posts, sharing some posts, and following up other destinations or other channels to keep inspiration, for us was ideal and was vital. Otherwise, the efforts done in the past were totally wasted. So the suggestion is to keep in mind that if you start an influencer campaign, you have to keep on going through the years, because the channels will change, the audience changes, and the peculiarity of your destination might switch a little bit. So you really need somebody else's help, because if you are an event prof, you are ideally focused on your job. If you are an influencer marketer, you are working through with your tools. So everybody needs somebody else's help. And then the idea of being a team through the years, for me, it's very important, and it's what I feel to recommend. And staying with the matter of trust, but also seeing the future, see how to work together in the future. It's not something that you create and then close, like shutting down the door. Otherwise, you have wasted money, and you have the influencer wasted time, and it's not an experience with a valid results to bring home.
Yeah, I think that's very well said, Giovanni. And I think you already replied on the last topic that we wanted to share. So how to create a successful campaign with an influencer. And I think I can summarize a lot from what you said. First of all, it's, yeah, of course, trust is a huge aspect, but it's also a constant collaboration. Also for the suppliers, it's to do your research, do your homework, review the influencer, not just one push on a button, but really to review the person and what is she commenting on her private social media channels, but also on her professional social media channels. Like Alessia said, is it meaningful? And also what I really like what you said is, Giovanna, is that influencer marketing is not something the collaboration stops and that you shut the door. Like, it should be an ongoing relationship, because the content out there, or even the beautiful pictures that Alessia produced, you can still find them anywhere, and they will be, and perhaps I will find them in a brochure next year, so that you can still see the work. And sometimes that's something we know, that some articles can even pop up after 3 or 4 years, can become trending. So I think it's really good if you say, if you decide to work with influencer marketing and to create something successful, that don't think just only, oh, this was a 6-month campaign, but keep that relationship going with the influencer. And as soon as perhaps there is a budget or an opportunity again, engage with them, and they can reuse that content. And I see there the biggest factor of the successful collaboration, that it's ongoing and not something just only for 6 months. Time passes very quickly, unfortunately or fortunately. We come at the end of the interview. I just wanted to say, give a last word to Giovanna. Perhaps you want to share something, or where, if people are interested to hear more about Naples, where they can find you. What is the best way to reach out to you?
I thank you. I would like to add a new thing, and the last thing. If you work in team with your influencers, don't be afraid to tell the truth. If you are not happy about some posts or some pictures, because you do not feel comfortable in being represented in a proper way, feel free and trust them to they will not get offended, and that's important, because otherwise they will not be able to work on your behalf.
Thank you for sharing that.
I hope you will consider Naples as your MICE destination for your conferences and events, and you can find me on LinkedIn with my personal profile and with the Convention Bureau page, and on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube as well. So you can get in touch with me, and anytime we will reply to you in spite of the COVID.
Thank you. That's very well said. Alessia, do you want to share anything as a last sentences, and also to know where, if people are interested to work with you as a potential influencer, where they can find you?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. As a communication expert, of course, I can recommend, don't stop communicating, especially now more than ever. Try to go beyond and use new channels in your toolbox, marketing toolbox. So go out of your comfort zone and try to experience an influencer marketing project, and try to build a new conversation with your followers and users together with a brand ambassador. Just try it, because you can find it really successful for your brand in general, destination or company, doesn't matter. So yes, I'm available for any conversation, just for suggestions, even on LinkedIn as well. You can find with my name, and good luck.
Well, thank you so much, ladies, for this interesting interview. My name is Mariska Kesteloo, and I'm the founder of Word of M.I.C.E. You can find my company on all the social media channels, of course, but you can also reach out to me via LinkedIn under my personal name. So thank you so much, ladies, for this. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your honest and valuable insights with me, and with hopefully also many others. For those who are watching, I would say enjoy the rest of the show, and good luck, and remain positive in these challenging times. See ya.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Bye bye.